Hello.
Hey everyone.
All right. What's going on, guys? This is my first stream, and we are going to do some trade setups today. I'm going to be using the harmonic scanner here to look at a few of the recommended ones. This is the GBP AUD, which means the British pound versus Australian dollar. This is a harmonic pattern. This is called a bat because the yellow here kind of looks like a bat. It's a little bit of a lopsided bat. It looks a little odd. And what this is basically saying is that what should happen is the price will go down. It should retest basically onto this green line here. That's the entry point, and then it should go up afterwards. It has already started to go up a little bit. This blue candle here, and in this hour, we know it's the hour because the H1 here. Um, it is it is it is doing that. It is going back down. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, it most likely will take a little while for it to return to a more appropriate entry point, but we should take a look at that. So, this is the trade I was in earlier. As you can see, this one looks very promising. I'm expecting this one to go down a lot more than it already is. I'm going to take out my first price around here. This one was also from the harmonic scanner, but I'm going to take out first here, and then I twin traded, so that means I took two entries, and I'll take out only one entry once it gets here, and let the other one ride till it hits this line here, which isn't much farther. And then I also have a trailing stop for that. So let's look at the British pound versus the Australian dollar. Oh, I didn't click the button, did I? Wow, that's embarrassing. I forgot how to do that. Okay. Well, now we're actually looking at the chart. Hopefully you guys didn't mind that. This is my first stream. I'm gonna be making some mistakes. GBP AUD I was looking at earlier, and this price point we got in, we made a little bit of money. Let's see how much the maximum we could have made is. If we got in here at the highest point, it was up 118 pips, and that was over the more realistically, we should have taken out here at 100 pips profit, and that is about 24-hour hold there over the weekend. I think, yeah, over the weekend. So doesn't really count. It says 3 days here almost, but it's not actually 3 days. What's this? Can you guys see this? I'm just gonna lower mine so it doesn't take any bandwidth or anything. And see this signal here, it's not really close to ending the hour, but if it were, that would mean that it's trying to reverse very temporarily. Doesn't mean anything long term at all. So if we analyze this one that the harmonic scanner gave us, they said they're looking at the 1 hour. I'm looking at the 15. That's why it looks a little bit different. And as you can see, in order to break this, it had to be really strong, few candles in a row. Strong meaning that they're very large with small wicks. As you can see, this one was very large, but also had a very long wick, which is why it stopped here and then continued to go slightly back up. And a lot of people can make money, including myself. I've done this, where you wait till you see one with a big long wick like this, and then you get in the next candle, and look at that. Within 1 hour, you make 30 pips, and that one's pretty reliable. If you see one with a candle with a big wick, you know that the next one is most likely going to be the last one. That's just the way it tends to be. Little market strategy for you there. Let's mark up a new chart. Let's see if there's anything else we can look at. The New Zealand versus the United States dollar. Let's see how this one's doing. So this one's still above second entry, which is good for us. Let's look at that one. NZD USD. Right, so this is the one I'm in right now. This one, where looked at this one? Yeah, that one is still, according to Harmonic Scanner, still a good trade. And what you can do with this one is it looks like it'll have a small reversal, so you can expect to get back in around, I'll make it really obvious. I'll put an eclipse for it. It should hit that eclipse right there. If it does, then you should get in. I recommend getting in at least. Like I said, like you know, I'm not allowed to tell you anything what to do. You do what you want, but I highly recommend that if the price gets back into this zone here, into that eclipse, that you sell it. And I'm looking for my first take profit on this orange line. You should twin trade it, and and uh, and then you can go down here for this other part here to be a sell, also to sell your sell, I guess. Get rid of your sell on this trend line here. I'll show you how I made that trend line. That actually is a horrible trend line. I don't know why I made it there. Oh, that was based off the 1 hour. So let's fix it actually. I can make a better trend line. And that is a slightly better fix. I like to, usually what happens with these trend lines is it'll cut through a middle one, and that's alright. Um, it just hits the next point. So because it hit this point here, I hope you can see my mouse right here. And there. And there. So it should bounce off this or break it really strong. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to even triple trade. And what you could do then is if the price gets down to this first one, you execute one of your trades, and or not execute, you get rid of one of your trades, you take profit on it, and then you take another profit on another one of these, and it might go through and just completely demolish this. If that is the case, then it should go down even farther. NZD USD has been going up for a while. As you can see, if I zoom out to a 1 hour, this is a harmonic pattern here. And it's a very bearish harmonic pattern. And so they're expecting it to go down to this level here. According to the scanner, you just take out the B, and that's another point in which they expect, which I would agree with actually, because if you notice here, and if you notice here, these are both uh, levels at which the price has a hard time breaking. And because of that, we know that this is a stronger point. Even over here too, look at that. So this is a very powerful area for price resistance. There, that is at 0.69663. I would definitely recommend, provided it gets down that far, to then get rid of your positions. I wouldn't expect it to go down much farther than that in shortcoming, meaning in a few days. I don't expect it to get down here at all until maybe even early June. Yeah, probably early June. So we'll see what it does. We'll be watching. And let's zoom out a little bit more just to get an even better scope of what's going on. Better picture here. That one doesn't really help that much. Here's the daily chart. And let me just close this door really quick. Can you guys still see me? We have some people over right now. They're installing a water system. Um, let's see. So overall, it looks like there's clearly some high highs. The highs are lowering. You see this? This high. I mean, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, and then it goes lower high, probably lower high. And if it does, that would be an extremely bearish movement. If you zoom out even more, we start to really get the picture of what's going on here. And I hope you can tell. I'm going to turn this light really quick. I hope you can tell. I know there's a lot of crap over here. I don't want to get rid of that, but I hope you can still tell what's going on. I'm going to draw some macroscopic trend lines. So as you can see from here, generally it went up, and now it's generally going down, at least to there. So it is slightly risky at this point to put in a sell because it's not extremely high. It's not extremely overbought, but it is definitely slightly overbought right now in the market. And even if you are not a fan of using only um, technical analysis, if you use a little bit of indicators, I think even if I pull up some indicators, it will agree on my analysis here. Here's my live trading. I don't know if you can see my in profit, but I'm $12 in profit right now with only a zero point 0.1 lot size, one mini on that. And this indicator is saying it'll go up slightly right now. But overall, it's definitely a downward curve. And so I'm excited for that. Definitely, definitely excited for this. I'm I'm gonna I'm going to put in one more entry if it goes up a little bit more than I expect it to. I'm not going to worry no matter what it does. Uh, if we see back on the 15th minute, it is starting to increase from when we last checked in. It's now a larger green candle. Like I said, I do expect it to hit this zone. Maybe, actually, it's probably going to go over there. Probably around here. It's going to be a new high, a miniature high, short-term high. And that one will be short-lived, I think. If you want an exact price, let's try and find it. It should be about there. And if that's the case, I think it's going to be right there. I'm expecting that to be hit. I'll check in. That's pretty accurate. It's not a lot of leeway there. So we'll see. I'll definitely add another entry for a total of 3 entries, and I will be able to do that trade that I was referring to earlier if it does go into this zone. Let me see this. Okay. So this is a price reversal candle provided it ends like this. If it does end the candle as it is currently, that means that it should be turning around within the next candle. And it was going down, so that means we turn around going up, of course. And as you can see, if you kind of draw an imaginary umbrella right here, it's kind of at that point of support right now. And you always want to sell at resistance, of course. But we can try and draw another a larger umbrella here. That's why I'm expecting it to hit here. I don't know if you can see the larger umbrella, but definitely trying to get on that if that's the case. If Let's look at another chart. Let's look at the Euro USD. Let's see what happened here. Hmm, interesting. So if you notice, this trend line was written up before, and if you look and see what candle broke the trend line, it was this larger green one here, and you really need um, to have a strong candle in order to break trend lines. That's just how it goes. So you know that if it does break, it's going to continue to go up. So even if you saw just this one candle, if it were like that, and you saw this candle being formed, you would know that the next one should be a green one. It's very likely. Also, whenever you see just that larger candle like here, you know it's usually going to be a big green one. At least one more. As you can see, it was only one more, then it switched, and then it was another large one. It went back into the zone, and then it said, no, I don't like the zone, and then it had to have a huge candle. I could have even been news related. I haven't really been keeping up with the news lately. I don't think it was. I think it was just buyer related. When it's a giant candle, like more than just normally large candle, that's where you know it's going to reverse. It's a little bit too big for this to happen, this pattern here. Also, if you notice, the wicks are approximately the same size. This is one more way people can analyze charts. If you see that the wicks of a candle are approximately the same size, that usually means a switch in direction. Um, Let me see if I can find another example of that. Oops. Right here. This is a perfect example right here. So these wicks here are approximately the same size. It's a small body. That's how you know it was going to switch up. So you know at this candle, it's going to switch. You don't know that, of course, but it's very likely to. Right at that candle, if this were up to date, which is not. This is old. You can see what happened. Mm, Overall, it's hard to say what this one's doing right now. It looks like it's going down, but it easily could be part of an Elliott wave. And I don't know if you guys know what an Elliott wave is. That is where I'll show you actually with an ABCD pattern. Oops, not an ABCD pattern. Not that one. I meant the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. Excuse me. So what this means is that if it starts to go up right now, it'll go up a pretty significant amount. Should be approximately that much, right? Actually, not that much. About right there. And then not that 4 is completely inaccurate. I just had to click to move the chart. Let me fix that. And we also know that the distance between the 1 and the 2 should approximately be the difference between the 3 and the 4. So I'm eyeballing it here. And then it should go something like that. Provided it starts to go up right now. And it definitely looks like it is. I might buy this trade. Definitely considering it. It definitely looks like it's trying to switch upwards. But if for people that look to in the now, it would look like it's going down. So this is how the market can trick people. It might even be tricking me right now. It's kind of bouncing off of this zone that we built in the other video. So we'll definitely be seeing, if you notice, whenever it kind of dips into the zone, it gets really quiet, usually, like it is right now. So we'll probably have some time to analyze this to see if this is definitely a price reversal zone. So we already confirmed that, and I'm probably gonna buy, excuse me, buy a twin trade off of this one, and the twin trade would be for um, selling here at the 3 and then moving my stop loss to beneath the 4 for the other one and then getting rid of the third, getting rid of one of them of the trades, and then I'd put that just underneath the 1 here, like about there, and then after the 4 I'd let that one ride, and then I would put my take profit for the second one, the more in the money, even higher up, which would be really nice. Either way, though, it also looks like it's in the general down pattern, so I'm not sure if this is an Elliott wave. It's really hard to tell at this point. That's why I'm not jumping on it. It does look like it's in a general downward direction in the recent time, recent in the last few days. It's been going down, meaning that the United States dollar is becoming stronger than the euro in the recent days. Let's look at USD JPY. This is just my favorite pair because it's usually the easiest to predict. Ignore my trend lines. I made them a long time ago. I don't remember when exactly, but a few days ago. Um, at least like the 23rd or so. I think I made these. So that's definitely respecting them. I'm kind of surprised. Like, these are really old, but always cool to see that your trend lines are being respected. Overall, though, it's still in the trend line zone, and I'm not sure what this one's doing right now. Let's zoom out to see if we can get a better picture. Whoa. Okay. Let me just look at this really quick. Okay. So it definitely could be bottoming out where it is right now. I could easily see it going up now after this, off of this chart. Interesting. So it looks like it is more oversold than overbought right now, just by eyeballing it. If we zoom out a little bit more to the 4 hour, let's see if we can get an even better picture of what's going on. Yeah, this is kind of a tough call. I would definitely be more on the buy side than the sell side overall for this pair, because it appears that overall it wants to increase. Um, it looks like it's trying to hit this line again. Let's look at the 1 day just to make sure that's what's really going on. So now it gets rid of all those annoying blue lines. And we can see this really well and easy. And yeah, it's not really at a point of switching necessarily. It easily could be. It isn't obvious if it is. Hmm. But I would, if you really want to get into USD JPY, that I'd go with the buy on this one for now. I expect to get at least this purple line here. We know that's an area of resistance. even value of resistance even. Let's just check just the week. I don't like to check the month because I don't think that it's necessary. I think that you can get the same exact picture with the week with a little bit more accuracy, in my opinion. So overall, if you really, really look at it from a many multiple year perspective, then it's going in an upward direction, but it's kind of already up, so it's kind of hard to say where it's going from here. I could see either direction, honestly. I don't think USD JPY is really good for a trade right now. Let's check in 1 minute. It'll be 5 o'clock local time, and I'll be able to see if that harmonic scanner has updated anything that we can look at. Interesting. How is the stream going? Okay, just want to make sure. See, just 1 more minute till a new candle on the hour chart is formed, and hopefully, if we refresh the page or the harmonic scanner, we can see any new activity here. Euro USD. So they're saying Euro USD is a buy. Interesting. It definitely has been going down. They're saying it's going to switch. Interesting. We already looked at this one. This is the GB. Yeah, there's no new one this hour, which is alright. Um, Overall, I think that I'm going to maybe look at one more. I'll look at GBP USD, which is the pound versus the dollar. I like to trade this one as well. Oh, this is actually, well, look at this. This just caught my eye. I'm gonna erase everything on here. Remove all drawing tools. So if we look at the trend line, look at this. Do you see that? And this candle is a reversal candle. So that's kind of two ways that this is bullish here for the pound. And overall structure looks like it should be going up. So this would definitely be a hold. This would be a longer hold that you would have here. But you could see extremely violent upward movement here. If it does decide to go down a little bit more, um, that I can definitely see it, and I wouldn't expect it to stay down for very long. If it did go down, maybe like that, maybe a little bit more. I'm sure you will get a better entry than the current price because there's usually wick with the next candle. Almost every candle has a wick. So let's go down slowly. Let's look at the day now for this here. Interesting. So it definitely looks like it's trying to break here. I mean, it does not look at. It kind of looks like it's trying to break, but it's not really at that point yet to break. And so you see, this is a larger candle with a larger wick. So that means the next candle should be the lowest candle in the immediate uh, bounce off point. Mm-hmm. This is the hour chart now. It's kind of is this big candle going down here. Let's see if this is actually even a price reversal point or zone, and how strong of a zone or point it is. Excuse me. So I place this line here without knowing if it is or not. So let's go over and see if it is. We want to see both it topping out and hitting it in just different ways. Yeah, I mean, it kind of hits it here a little bit. This was, oh, whoops. Didn't mean to move it. Did I move it too much? A little bit. Yeah, let's just see if there's any reversal zone around this area here in past data. We gotta zoom out. It hasn't been to this high of a price in a while. Even here, it didn't get. Oh, dang it. Can I do it? Awesome. Let's see what happened here when it crossed the zone. So I had to break with a large candle. That's a good sign. Oh, look at this. Right here. Look at that. Exactly on the line. So I wouldn't say it's a super strong point, but this is definitely a point where the price could reverse, meaning this is a price reversal zone. Why don't we map that out with the rectangle? That would be the zone right there. And if you notice, it keeps bouncing off of it. And my friend actually just got here, so I'm gonna have to end the stream a little earlier than I was expecting. Um, I'm probably gonna take a buy on this if it goes back down a little bit. If it retests one more time at this price here of 1.27837, around that area. If it does hit it one more time and doesn't have a lot of volatility, it's not moving too fast, you definitely should buy that. I recommend. Can't tell you to do anything, but I would suggest it. Overall, thank you for your time. Please subscribe. Check out my Twitch